Dr. Virgil Wood, Pastor Emeritus, Pond Street Baptist Church, Rhode Island, and I reside in Houston, Texas.
I heard your wife, I'll start here, I heard your wife say 67 years. Tell me about 67 years.
Yeah, we've been married this year. Will be the 63rd wedding anniversary. We've been in each other's life 65 years. We met in college. 2 years later, we were married. I was in seminary, and she was working. We have had an incredible journey together. God has blessed us so richly. Our children delight us. As preachers' kids sometimes can be a little, unsettling about ministry and church. Our kids, we've never had to have a conversation about church. They were always there, never not in church. And they're deep in the Lord, and we consider that to be one of our greatest blessings, that our children have brought into all of the values that we received from our forebearers. Now they're passing on. Now we are now great-grandparents. We had a little grandbaby born about 2 months ago, a little girl named Michaela. We were just thrilled about what God is doing with our life. We're excited about the work here at the Proctor Conference. Dr. Proctor is one of the seminal figures, one of the great signposts in our journey. And his journey sheds great light on where we as a people must go if we are to reach our destiny. The destiny is from one generation to another, passing on what counts, finding value in that, and then passing it on. What we do for others, and then God does for us. And when we value that and cherish that, you have a good life. And we're blessed.
Well, you've had an amazing journey from time with Dr. King to Harvard University. Tell us about your time with Dr. King.
Yes. I joined Dr. King. I joined Dr. King in '59. I was pastoring in Lynchburg. I was in my second full-time pastorate, and that's where I joined him. Lynchburg, Virginia. I pastored a church, a great church, and great support from my movement work. We had about 40 pastors who worked together. I was very delighted. We were able to engender the kind of trust and solidarity. I had pastors go to jail with me, I had members to go to jail with me. And I look back on that, I'm just excited. I first met Dr. King when I was a student in college. He was passing through Richmond and stopped off on the campus of Virginia Union one day. And some of the older guys, seminary students, I was a college student, some of the seminary guys said, Martin Luther King is in town, come over to my room. And his room was packed out. Here's this little short guy standing there carrying on. And I had never seen anybody like him. Martin Luther King is one of the greatest blessings God has given us. And how awesome of God to arrange certain people to be in place at a given time that he could orchestrate his own dream. The dream is God's dream. That's what Bishop Tutu said. It's God's dream. God's dream is of conditions on earth like in heaven, but not forced, chosen. And our people, I think, stand as a symbol to world people, how you can survive any kind of obstacles, any kind of challenges, and still be firm in the Lord. And I'm excited about that.
You've written on economic justice and Jubilee.
Yes.
Talk about Soul Scope. What is Soul Scope and what is it?
Soul Scope is a profile I developed by which a person can determine the shape of, the shape of your soul. It gives you some feedback, and I'd say it's kind of a text on 1 Corinthians 13. Here you have Paul, who starts out his career. Paul is the 13th disciple of Jesus, right? Starts his career as a member of the Ku Klux Klan, let's say. He's at the stoning of Stephen, and he's egging him on. It's a lynching. And he's there like a part of that thing. He starts off as a member of the Ku Klux Klan, let's say. He ends up writing 1 Corinthians 13. That's a curriculum on how love insinuates itself, how love grows, how love, I would say, is systematized and orchestrated. You got to get it right in here first before you can get it right out here. I took serious Martin's dictum that what we were trying to do was to heal the soul of America. And after he was gone, I kind of toyed with that because I said, why me, Lord? I'm an old guy, you know. Do you know how old I am, Lord? You're telling me to do this stuff. You know how old you are? I said, nigga, I know how old you are. I made you, right? Yeah, we're not going to have that conversation again. I said, okay, Lord. So I find myself now at my age engaged in some of the most important work I think I've ever done in my life. One is we've got to reverse the jail trail and jumpstart vibrant, enduring economies. We got to know what the hell we're talking about. We got to know what the hell we're trying to do, and then go do it. Now, that's why after his death, I went back to Harvard. You got a doctorate in economics, go to my theology. I did it school ed, but I had access to some of the great minds. God has given us something if we snatch it. One, we can turn prisons into universities. Malcolm showed us how to do that. Okay, that's the first thing. How to turn prison into universities. When those brothers come out of prison, they ought to have a holy book in one hand, a college degree or some sort of certificate of completion in the other hand, and a voter registration on the hip pocket. When those brothers come out of prison like that, they're ready to reclaim their manhood. The church must do that. We must work with the Nation of Islam. We must work with anyone who wants to heal the soul of a nation. I would say that what we've been deficit on, I think, is the whole economic challenge. We talk about the beloved community, but there's no beloved community without a beloved economy. And the sooner we get to it, the better. Listen to this. There's a framework for what we're trying to do, but it's implicit in what we do, but we have not made it explicit. We got to frame what we're doing. It's written on the Liberty Bell. Proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be unto you a jubilee. Jubilee is both economic and spiritual. And we've got to figure out what does that look like, why must it be done, how must it be done, and when must we get started. We must get started immediately. Here's the mantra: own or be owned. Why we can't wait. And we have a group of people who are going to be at the Federal Reserve Building on April the 15th. We're going to encircle that building. We're going to do what Rabbi Abraham Heschel said when he was with Martin, the man who came out of prison in Auschwitz, came to America and found himself marching with us. He said, we march, we pray with our feet. We're going to pray with our feet around the Federal Reserve, and we're going to create the economy in America that will lift from the very bottom. You see, you hear the politicians talk about saving the middle class on economic matters. You cannot save the middle class. You have to save from the bottom. Because when you aim for the middle class, you simply further splinter your society. But when you lift from the bottom, everybody above the folks on the bottom rise, but the bottom also rise. That's the economic system I've been privileged to help work on.
Well, this is exciting work. I look forward to learning more. You're being honored tonight. I'm going to let you eat, but thank you for your time.
I'm delighted. Thank you, buddy.